Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monster Hunter World. Today we're going to be going over one of the favorite weapons in Monster Hunter World, the Heavy Bowgun. This thing can pump out an absolute ton of damage, and we're going to go over everything you need to know about this weapon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Monster Hunter World. Today we're going to be covering one of the favorite weapons in Monster Hunter World, the Heavy Bowgun. Now this weapon can do tremendous amounts of damage and allows you to not even be anywhere near the boss, although there are some advantages to getting up close and personal, but we'll go over all of the things about the Heavy Bowgun in this episode. I hope you guys all enjoy it. If you do, don't forget to show your support and smash that like button, like we're gonna smash this pole with the Heavy Bowgun. So yeah, as you guys can see, you actually do have a melee attack that does quite a bit of damage, and it's pretty slow, but you can do damage if you need to. Wouldn't recommend doing it unless you have to, but it does do quite a bit of damage. Otherwise, we're going to be using the Heavy Bowgun the way it's meant to be. Now, we'll go over a couple other things first. The dodge with the Heavy Bowgun is a very extended and accentuated dodge. You can actually get out of the way relatively effectively as long as you don't move too soon, because some targets will actually follow you when you dodge, so if you time it just right, you can get out of the way out of just about anything really fast when you need to. Now, we'll go ahead and get into the ammo for the Heavy Bowgun. Each Heavy Bowgun has a different set of ammo, and you can check that out when you go to craft it. You can also check what ammos you are available to have when you go into your equipment info. And when you're hovering over any bowgun in the crafting menu or in your equipment, you can hit L3 on the PlayStation 4 to actually see what ammo you're able to use, as well as its reload speed and recoil effect. So, for this particular one, you can see we've got 3 different ammo types for the normal ammo: pierce ammo, spread ammo 2, sticky ammo, which is actually a sticky grenade pretty much that explodes. You got cluster bombs, recover ammo, which you can shoot members in your party with to recover health, and you also have the demon ammo, which you can increase members' attack power with. We also got a track and wyvern. You can see everything we got there. Now, my favorite is the slicing ammo. This does a ton of damage and can really do a number to an opponent when you hit them in the face with it, or pretty much any other weak spots. So let's go ahead and shoot this real quick, and you'll just see how much damage this will do here in a second. It does an absolute buttload of damage. So we'll go ahead and reload real quick. Now, there's another bonus to the Heavy Bowgun and Light Bowgun, which we'll show you in a second, which you can actually add mods to them. Now, there's 2 different specials with the Heavy Bowgun. When you're using a bone gun, you will get to use this one here, which is the Wyvern Snipe. We'll see how many times it actually hits. You want to try and shoot the enemy creature from tail to head with this. We'll see how many hits we can get off just hitting this pole. It only does 2, so shooting the pole with this really doesn't show the amount of damage that you can pump off with this, but it is substantial. Now, we've got both different types of normal ammo. Obviously, every tier of ammo that you use will increase its damage. We'll start off with the normal ammo. We're doing about 9 damage, and then we'll do the normal ammo 2, and you'll see a substantial increase in damage here. So it does about 23, so on average about double the amount of damage. And then if we had the normal 3, we'd see that we'd get another significant increase. Now, the sticky ammo has a chance to stun, which is very nice, and you can also exhaust creatures when you hit them in the head with this, and it does quite a bit of explosive damage, which is very nice as well. Then you've got your cluster bomb. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. That can do quite a bit of damage as well. But my favorite is by far the slice ammo. It just does so much damage, and you can really do a number. We've also got the spread ammo, which you need to be a little bit closer for the spread ammo to work. It is like a shotgun blast, and you'll see that we can get into critical distance with this as well. So when you're using the Heavy Bowgun or any of the bows, Instead of the screen shaking like in previous Monster Hunter titles, you have your out of range. Then when you get a little bit closer, you'll be able to do some damage from here, but not a much. And then you'll get closer, and you'll see that the targeting crosshair gets a little crosshair in the middle that pulsates, and this is when you're at critical distance, and you're able to do the most amount of damage. Now, with the spread ammo, the closer you are, the more hits you'll be able to get, and it can do quite a bit of damage. Now, with this, you also have your critical distance with all types of ammo. So as you can see, with different types of ammo, we also have different types of range. So from here, we'll do 2 damage. Once we get into critical distance, we're doing 29. So you really need to make sure you're shooting from critical distance with all types of ammo. Now, with the slicing ammo, it doesn't particularly matter, other than you'll do actual 2 damage with the actual hit, versus the 1 damage you'll do when you're outside of critical distance, but it'll still do just as much damage with the actual slicing effect. Now, when you're using an ore tree heavy bowgun, you'll get access to Wyvern Heart, which is basically like a machine gun. It is very, very damaging, and you'll see here that we can do quite a bit of damage with this. And you can hold it until you're all the way done, or you can stop and then start again if you need to. But this is very, very damaging. Once it's over, you have to wait for your special ammo to recover, and you can't use it again until it is actually, you don't have to wait for it to fully charge like you do with the Wyvern Snipe. With the Wyvern Snipe, you can only use it when it's fully charged, but with this, you can use it as it fills up and actually probably do a little bit more damage long term with it. Now, one of the nice things about the heavy bowgun is you can do some crazy initial damage on an unsuspecting monster like this poor dragonfish. And just, it's quite a bit of damage. That Wyvern Snipe will actually do quite a bit more damage if you hit it properly, but I was a little excited. Didn't get a very good hit on it. But you'll see here that even though we're out of range, we won't actually get the hit off. So we need to actually make sure that you are in range, or your ammo will not actually hit, even if it is one of these sticky ones. Now, when you have your weapon put away, if you hit triangle, you'll draw your weapon and reload it. So, if you don't want to reload your weapon, make sure to just hit R2. That way you don't get stuck in a reload animation when you don't want to be. As you can see, the slicing does so much damage. Now, we've also got the Wyvern ammo, which you'll only want to use when you're very close. And that will also do stun damage and quite a bit of break damage as well. You can break just about any body part with that. And we can also use Pierce when we're far away, which is what I like to do. And then we'll use the slicing when we're a little bit closer. And the slicing damage does a lot. It is definitely your premier item that you should be making sure you have on all of your weapons if you want to be pumping out a ton of damage. And you'll see that it does a very good job of stunning creatures and knocking them over. It is just amazing. Now, the spread ammo, I don't think is very good. It's good in a pinch, but it really doesn't do a lot of damage. You have many other items in your arsenal that are significantly better. I only really use the spread ammo as a last resort. It is good if you get right in the perfect spot, but for some reason, its hitboxes are less forgiving than most other... Oh, don't roll into the mud. The hitbox for the spread ammo is far less forgiving than any other, so you have to use it properly. Now, with the Wyvern Snipe, you'll want to make sure that you really only use it when it's knocked out, because you'll be able to get the most bang for your buck that way. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can knock it out with the slice ammo that I don't have any more of. Now, you can do decent damage just using your normal ammo. The infinite normal ammo one does not do a whole lot of damage, so you will want to make sure you've got your higher tier normal ammos with you, so that way if you do happen to run out of your other ammo, you're still able to do a decent amount of damage. and not be completely useless to yourself or your team. Now, when you are using your specialized ammo, you do want to make sure that you do hit the weak spots, or else you're going to be wasting a lot of your ammo, and your fights are going to take a lot of time because you'll be forced to end up using your normal ammo, which doesn't do very much damage. You also want to make sure you don't waste your Wyvern Snipes like that. Now, as I was mentioning before, every time you look at a weapon, you can tell which ammo you get from it by hitting the L3 button. So you can really decide if you find ammo types that you like by hitting the L3 button. You'll be able to see what can be rapid fire, which is a very, very big bonus depending on which weapons you are using. Like this is the light bowgun, so you can see here that you get rapid fire with exhaust ammo and spread ammo. Unfortunately, we don't really get rapid fire with the heavy bowgun, but you can still see other things from here as well. Just basically all the ammo that you get, as well as the reload speeds. Now, this is where it gets interesting, where you can actually manage and customize your bowgun. So we just upgraded to the Legia Shatter Crest, which is an actual ore tree, which means we get Wyvern Heart instead of Wyvern Snipe. But when we go into here, we can actually pick which mods we want to use, and it'll tell you what is upgraded when you assign this to this slot. So reload assist, it goes from normal to, say, for the Pierce Ammo 1, we go from normal to fast reload speed, and we're just going to keep that one equipped. I would like to get, I like reloading fast, so I usually try and stack 2. That way we don't have any slow reloads, but the cluster bomb doesn't go up at all, so we're not going to stack another reload assist. But we can get Recoil Suppressor, which prevents you from being knocked back as much when you fire your weapon, which is always good, so we'll go ahead and equip that. You can also equip a shield if you're having issues to start off with. The shield will actually automatically defend yourself when you draw, when your weapon is drawn. And you can equip 2 or more for better shielding. So when you first get into using the bowgun and figuring out how the dodges work, it's always good to maybe equip the shields until you get used to it. That way you can automatically defend yourself and take less damage. I prefer to use probably the ranged attack up, so that way we get more damage when shooting from far away, because you do often get outside of critical distance, so having that extra distance is a bonus. Now we're using a ore-based gun, and we're gonna go ahead and test out the Wyvern Heart. Now, the unfortunate thing about this one is you only get 1 shot versus the 3 we had on the previous one for the ammo capacity. So ammo capacity is going to be a major game changer with each type of weapon as well. So it's something you're gonna want to keep in mind, that if it's a really damaging item that you like to use, having the ammo capacity for it can be a game changer. Now to test out the Wyvern Heart. Get out of the way, Zitzy, Jesus. Just trying to enjoy my life here. So this is definitely something to keep in mind, that each weapon has its own capacity for ammo. So you really need to make sure that when you're picking the weapons that you want, that not only that it has the ammo that you desire, but also a capacity that is worth using. Like on this one, I didn't realize that the slicing ammo only had one shot per load, which isn't that great. Although on the other hand, the piercing ammo 1 through 3 is a little bit better than the other one. So each weapon has its own style of gameplay, so you're really going to have to pick which you like. I really like the slicing ammo, so having enough ammo slots for the slicing ammo is a very, very big bonus for me. So we'll just have to pick another one that has you know, better ammo slots. So you're really going to have to figure out what type of gameplay you want to be using when you start experimenting with the bowgun, and that way you'll know which type of ammo to select and make sure it has the proper capacity for your type of gameplay. Now, I can't tell you which type of heavy bowgun you should go with, whether it's for the Wyvern Snipe or the Wyvern Heart. Now, I do have to say that the Wyvern Heart is a lot of fun to play with. It is a little bit more forgiving than the Wyvern Snipe, because if you miss the first shot with the Wyvern Snipe, you're screwed, but at least with the Wyvern Heart, you can at least get back on target and still do some damage. So the Wyvern Heart is definitely more forgiving than the Wyvern Snipe, but the Wyvern Snipe, if hit correctly, does a ton of damage. Other than that, you really just need to figure out what type of gameplay you want to be using. Either up close and personal, you can get something with a lot of really good piercing ammo, and you just have to select which type of ammo you want, and just make sure to pay attention that the weapons that you upgrade to do have the type of ammo and stuff that you're going to want to be using, or else you're going to end up wasting a lot of your materials. But anyways, that is all there really is to the heavy bowgun. It's really just a matter of staying in the proper ranges, making sure you understand its dodging mechanics, as they are a little bit different than your standard weapon, because the extended dodges allow you to get out of the way, but it is also significantly slower than any other weapon. Now, that being said, when you have to go to heal, it also takes a lot longer to actually heal, because you have to put this big weapon away and then actually take your potion. So it does take a little bit more time. So in fights where you're fighting something that is very quick and could come and attack you, you need to make sure there is some distance between you and the target before you actually try and put your weapon away and heal up. But anyways, I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode showing off the heavy bowgun. It is a very good weapon, and after experimenting with it for a while, you guys will very much enjoy it, and it is a blast to use. No pun intended, or pun 100% intended actually, because it's amazing. And it blows things up, which is probably the best thing ever. But anyways, if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to share this part, to smash that like button. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.